Are you going to videotape this?
Yeah, and that.
Kelly, how old are you now?
About to be 9.
About to be 9. That's a good age. You know why? Because we got some things we need to talk about. Because very soon you're going to be a man. And we got to talk about what it means to be a man.
But when you become a man, you're about like, I don't know, like 20?
No. By the time if you wait to get 20 to learn stuff about man, you're too late. You got to learn this stuff now about manhood, and then when you get to be 20 and things happen, you already know it.
You said 9-year-olds are really close to being men.
I said right.
That is 11 years away from being 20.
No, that's not. You don't become a man at 20. You become a man when you do man things. Okay? And in different cultures, being a man is a different age. Okay? So it's not really about age. You got some men that are 50 years old and they're not in manhood yet. They still acting like boys. So we have to talk about what you're expected so you'll know when you do the things to be man, okay? So I got this
beer.
I got this little slideshow here and we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna talk about what a man
rules right there.
We're gonna talk about what a man is and what a man isn't, okay? Now take a look at this. It said what manhood. Manhood is a male that consistently leads and provides for himself, his family, and his community.
I already know that.
I know you know that, but we gotta make sure that we go over it so it's stuck in your brain.
But I already went over that twice.
Okay, but we're gonna go over it. We're gonna go over it with me and you because what we decide manhood is might be different than passport. Because what we just think is that a man puts away his childish things and he's capable and he's trusted and he does responsible things.
So how come there's a baby right there?
Because that shows the different cycles of being a man. See, you kind of in the middle now, and then you're going to be that older guy, and then you're going to be the real old guy looking at a little baby right there someday soon, okay? That's what you're going to do.
I know he's looking at.
Okay? Now take a look at that. We're going to talk about first is what a man isn't. Because there's a lot of people out there that that look like men. They got beards and they're big and strong, but they're not really men.
I know.
So let's talk about
this at SAC.
Okay,
so I technically know.
Okay, let's talk about it again and see if you agree with me. I have here that what is not a man is a person that don't have a sense of their origin or creator. See, there's some people out there that are big, but they don't even know who their creator is.
God is.
That's right. You got the right answer. You know already because we've been teaching you, but you got to keep remembering that. What is not a man is a person who depends on others to take care of them. Not being a man is avoiding your responsibilities.
That's what I do at SAC. I'm like, get away from me. Shut up. Okay. I'm trying to man up.
You're trying to man up. Okay. Being a man is not being a man is spending most of your time playing. Do you know that men do work? They don't spend most of their time playing. That's the picture of the lady taking care of somebody. Men don't let people take care of them. They take care of themselves.
I take care of myself.
And that's good. You starting to be a man. Look at that. That boy right there, he's not trying to be responsible. And look at this boy. They playing video games. They look like men. But if you sit around and play video games all day long, are you really being a man? No.
No, I don't do that all day long.
I know,
sometimes
but
I get bored and just kick this thing.
I'm just saying.
Exercise.
I'm just saying you need to know that that's not being a man when you sit around and play all the time.
That's what Steven thinks that is a man.
Well, that's another story.
I know.
And another thing is, I know this, you might not understand this yet, and there's some men who think going around having sex with all kinds of girls and having babies all over town is being a man. And just because you have a baby doesn't make you a man.
That's so wrong.
That is wrong. And making money by selling drugs is not being a man.
That's stupid.
That's stupid, because that's selling poison to other people. And that's just being selfish. You're getting the money, but they're getting sick and they're dying because of the money you're making. So that's not being a man.
What about bath salt drugs?
That's the same thing. That's a type of drugs.
I know, but bath salt drug, you don't die if you eat it. You kill people unless the cops shoot you.
Yeah. And look at this last one. Dressing and talking like a child. See that guy dressed with that sports outfit and his drawers hanging halfway down? Grown men don't dress like that. Grown men look like men. Grown men don't look like boys. So, look at this. What else is not a manhood?
Do I look bad?
No, baby. You look like a little man. You always dress like a little man. Think of some other things as not being a man. Abusing your body and not reading and expanding your mind. Men read and get smarter and smarter and expand their mind. And they don't abuse their bodies.
I know what's abusing their body. Smoking.
Very good. And how about this one? Not consulting when making important decisions.
Murder.
When you make decisions, that's an important thing. You have to make good decisions.
I know what's wrong, Dad. What men when they abuse their body, it's murder too.
It's a type of slow murder, yeah.
When they murder someone, they're abusing themselves.
Look at this thing right here. It says everything happens for a reason, but sometimes the reason is that you're stupid and you make bad decisions. Isn't that silly?
That's Stephen.
Oh, let's not talk about Stephen. Stephen's trying hard to be a man.
He jumped over a creek and cut his arm.
Okay, let's talk about. He's trying harder to be a man. Look at this next one. Unable to provide and protect for your family. Being a man, people who have families and don't do anything for them and they're selfish and just make money and play for themselves aren't really being men. That's being a man. I know, but when you have your own family, which is one of the most important things about being a man, having your own family and taking care of them. These people who aren't men don't have their own family and don't take care of them.
I know that.
Okay, how about this one that says no job and unwilling to take care any job is available. When you're a man, you don't wait around for the biggest, best job. You take whatever you can get right now and you work hard for it.
Dad,
yeah.
On the computer, see those pictures? Some of those pieces of the pictures on the bottom are spit out.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. But look at this next thing here. It says spending money on bling. Do you know what bling is?
No.
And not taking care of your necessities first. You know, there's some people who have flashy cars and flashy clothes and rings and jewelry, and they live in a shack, and their family's eating crumbs. That's just not being a man. Being a man, you take care of your family first, and you don't get all these fancy things that don't make any sense.
Dad, you know what I do? I keep 70% of the money for my family. And also taxes.
And then taxes.
And the rest for myself.
The rest for yourself. Okay, so you keep 30% for yourself. All right, how about this one? No plan or goal for your future and not being in a committed relationship. Okay, look at that. He said no work. All right, so those are things of what need work. Those are things that what a man isn't. So let's talk about what happens if you don't act like a man. If you don't act like a man, you're going to always be broke.
That's stupid.
You're going to be hopeless. You're going to lose relationships with your family. Look at that. He's always broke. You're going to lose relationships with your family.
Well, I'm rich.
See, you might even have your kids taken away if you don't act like a man. And you could be depressed, have suicide. Okay, that's losing your one you love. And that's being depressed and suicidal. So there are some bad things that can happen. Here's some other things that can happen if you don't act like a man. Look, you can commit crimes. People who don't act like men commit crimes because they don't have a reason not to. People who don't act like men start getting deadly diseases. You know how they get these deadly diseases?
Being crazy.
Or not doing stuff in the wrong place in the wrong time and messing with people who have diseases.
That guy got amoeba.
He got some kind of disease. They don't have enough money to take care of themselves. That's another consequence of not acting like a man. Being on drugs is another consequence of not acting like a man. Being homeless. Look at that guy begging for money on the street. That's because he didn't do the things to be like a man would do.
Well, a lot of people do that in Germany.
Well, they're not being a man. When you don't be a man, you start doing things and you end up in jail. Look at that kid in jail. That's the kind of stuff you happen to you as a consequence.
That's like a 13-year-old.
When you're going to go to jail. Yeah. He's supposed to start doing manly things. And finally, if you don't do things to act like a man, look at this one, what's going to happen to you. What does that mean?
Die.
Rest in peace. That means you can die. You're going to die early and soon when you don't do the things that men do. Okay? So we are talking today about what you got to do to be a man. All right? So here's the principles of being a man. First of all, you have to humble yourself to the Creator. Do you know what that means?
Pray.
That means pray. That means understand that God is the biggest, the strongest, and the baddest, and the reason you're here. And if you...
Baddest? God created.
Baddest, I mean good.
Okay. I knew that. I was thinking.
All right. You got to humble yourself. You got to let God, show God that He's the greatest and you're not. You got to put away childish things and use your time wisely. That's something that a man would do. You start taking care of what's yours. You got to continue to improve your body and your mind and include exercise and making responsible decisions.
That's what I do.
I know you're trying to be a man. There are a lot of people who don't. I just want to remind you. You got to honor your commitments and promises. And don't quit when things get tough. Look at that.
That's what Steven does.
See that picture right there? That's how you want your muscles to be?
Yeah.
That's how you take care of your body and your mind. And you honor your commitments. And don't quit when things get tough. That's very important. You know that, right?
I'm weak.
You're going to be strong if you keep working hard on it. Okay? Some other principles of being a man. If you want to be a man, you got to have a job, you got to pay for where you live, and you got to manage your money wisely. Those are things that men do.
That's what I do.
People who aren't being men don't do that. You got to pick a mate wisely. One day, you're going to get a wife.
Mom told me about that. I
She
already
did?
know.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about it some more. Picking a mate that you can lead. One that you can be the one that leads the family. Okay? Because a strong man leads his family, and that's what you want to be. If you got a wife who wants to lead, then you need to pick a different wife or a girlfriend. Because maybe you need to get a younger one. Or maybe you need to get one to something else. But you want a wife where you can be the man. You don't want her to be the man. You don't want her to follow you. You want to follow her. You want her to follow you.
You just said you don't want her to follow you.
You don't want to follow. You know what I'm saying. Alright, you got to provide for your family. One of the most important things of being a man is to have a family. Get you a family, get you kids.
Stop videotaping
to lead on us. To take our family to the next level. To have more of our family. You're going to respect others, even when they don't deserve to be respected. And you are going to, look at that, it says, if they respect you, respect them. If they respect you, still respect them. Don't allow the actions of others to decrease your good manners, because you represent yourself, not others. Who else do you represent, Kelly, other than yourself? You represent God, you represent your family, and you represent this country.
And you!
And you represent me. Everything you do, people looking at you. So you got to also give back to your community. That's a part of being a man, okay? So, why are you here? Part of being a man, you have to understand your origins.
Responsibility.
You need to understand who you are, where you come from, and where you started from, okay?
I started from
What's your purpose? And what we've been trying to teach you all your life is that your purpose is God. It's to know God. And how do you know God?
Because
how do you get to know Him? How do you get to know Him?
You.
You got to read the Bible, right? You got to learn about Him. You got to love God.
I do love God.
Now, how do you show that you love God? By loving
Him.
His people.
And Him.
When you love other people, you're loving God. Because God is a part of the people.
And I love you.
Good. When you love me, you loving God. Alright? You got to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you'll fall for anything. You ever heard that saying?
Yeah.
That
Steven
means
does
that, listen, if you don't know what your beliefs and your life rules are, that you're going to do all types of immoral things. Because other people are going to have, you're not going to have a reason not to. You're going to follow other people. But if you know what your rules are in life and the things you can and can't do, then you can't do them. But if nobody ever teaches those, then you won't know. Okay? So, don't follow other people. Do what's right regardless of what other people are doing or not. Okay? You have no reason not to steal. You have a reason not to steal if you haven't taught not to steal. People are going to be able to fool you and make you do bad things if you don't know what you are.
What's that little boy doing?
He's trying to steal. See right there it says do not steal. Okay? When you know who you are, you can say no and not care what other people think. If other people trying to talk you into steal, that's just saying you'll fall for anything. Okay? Because you're not going to fall for anything when you know who you are. Let's look at this next slide. You can say no to people when they try to talk you into doing bad things. when you know who you are. Okay? You can lead your life and know where you're going. Listen to this example right here. Let's say that your friends, they decided they want to go to the store and steal some candy. And they ask you to come along. Okay? If you don't know that stealing candy is wrong, and if your family haven't taught you who you are, and that stealing is wrong, that that's something you don't do, you might follow them, right? But if you know God said don't steal, you know your family say don't steal, and you know your country said don't steal, then you will have a good reason not to steal. Even if everybody else is stealing, you can say, no, I am not going to steal with you.
Look how tall I am.
Because look at what can happen to you if you steal. This is you stealing, right?
I know.
And you'll be a follower. Okay? If you don't believe in God or understand what's right or wrong, you will probably go with your friends and steal. And look at where we end you up. Look, you see that? Boom. You want to be one of them?
No.
So even if your friends are one of them, do you want to be one of them with your friends?
No.
No. So you say no if something is wrong, regardless of who else is doing it. Okay? You need to know who you are. Because if you know who you are is a follower of God, right? You will have the confidence to tell your friends no. And if they try to make you go against what you know is right, you will have the courage to dump them as friends and not be friends with them anymore, right? Stop. Okay, look at that. All right. You have to know what you stand for, Kelly. You stand for God, so you have to know what God wants. And how do we know what God wants?
The Bible tells us.
That's right. The Bible tells us what God wants. Okay? So if we trust in the Lord, all your heart, things are going to go right. Here's the answer, Kelly. His son Jesus taught us how to act and love when he was here on earth. And we should learn as much as we can about how Jesus thinks and how he believes and how he acts. And we just do what he would do.